do Facebook and YouTube. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. For this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be exceedingly glad. I just wanted to jump on here this morning. Oh my goodness. I want to encourage you this morning not to limit God. Sometimes God gives us something to do and it seems huge and insurmountable. But that's why most of the times He does not give us full disclosure on everything that it is going to take to get us to where we need to go. I'm reminded of when He told me to get on, go live on social media. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't do it. I'm like, what am I going to say on social media? And then when I finally decided to do it, I wasn't consistent. Then I decided to be consistent. And I said, well, if God told me to do it, He is going to give me the words to say because it is His assignment, not mine. It is His purpose, not mine. So I'm excited to say that I've been on here speaking what God has me to speak. It seemed like an insurmountable task because I felt, what in the world could I have to say every day? But God says He has something to say every day. And then when you start walking out what God has told you to do, sometimes things happen. The enemy does not want you to fulfill your purpose and destiny, but he is a liar. So no matter what comes, no matter what happens, you have to do what God has called you to do, no matter what. So I'm on live and I'm on every day. And it was the summer of 2021. And I was bragging on what we were doing for the youth because we were getting the youth to come back live into their respective programs. And I get a phone call that my son took his life. And guess what? I still continued. I said, the enemy isn't going to stop me. I got on the next day. I was a little different when I got on the next day, but I still got on because God called me to an assignment and there was nothing I could do to bring my son back. But I knew I had to do all that God called me to do. Was it easy? No. But He had prepared, He had a plan. Do not limit God in what He called you to do. Do not let the enemy stop you, block you, hinder you, slow you down, because God has purpose and destiny for you. And it may seem like a huge, surmountable job, but if God told you to do it, He already equipped you before you came here. Sometimes we feel that we are not equipped because we look at our perceived limitations in the natural, but there are no limits in God. And because He is in us, there are no limits in us, because the word Ephesians 3:20 says that He's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. So I encourage you to allow God to work through you, to work out His purpose and plan. See, He has plans. I'm reminded of Joseph, how God gave Joseph a dream, and then all hell broke out in his life. His family wanted to kill him. His own brothers wanted to kill him. And instead, they sold him into slavery. And then he was in Potiphar's house, and Potiphar's wife lied on him. And for what she lied on him about, he should have been killed. But God didn't have that in the plan for Joseph. Joseph was sent to jail, and it still didn't keep him from fulfilling destiny in God. How do you go from a 17-year-old teenager to second in command in all of Egypt about 17 years later? How do you go? Where was he educated? What was his qualifications? Sometimes we feel we're not qualified to do what God has told us to do. But if He gave us the assignment. You were qualified before you got here. You were qualified when you came into this world. God qualified you for the assignment. He wouldn't have given it to you if you weren't fully capable of doing it. Don't limit God. Look at Joseph, how he was. Look at David. What qualified David, a shepherd boy, to be king of all of Israel? It was God's plan. Don't slow up God's plan. Don't be what do you call it? Don't be afraid of his plan. God has a plan for your life. You are destined for greatness. When he tells you something big, know that you are already equipped to do it in Jesus' name. Well, I hope you've been blessed this morning. This has been Blessed Moments with Sheila Horn. And if you have been blessed or you think someone else can, I ask that you comment, love, and share. And as always, have a phenomenally blessed day on purpose in Jesus' name.